Hey guys, it's Zyre Goku, and I'm doing an LP of Azure Striker Gunvolt with a special guest.
You said there wouldn't be anime. I was lied to.
What are you talking about? This game is anime as fuck.
You lied to me, and I want my time back. I'll just waste them anyway.
Does that mean I get my time back for every part of Phantasy Star Online we've been doing?
Just waste them anyway.
So this is Azure Striker Gunvolt. I'm playing the Striker Pack version that was released on the Nintendo Switch. This was originally released on the 3DS,
which I owned.
I owned the 3DS version as well. I didn't have Gunvolt 2 for 3DS. I was going to buy it until I realized that this was out, and I figured may as well just buy it on the better console at the time.
He looks bored as shit.
Also, there are minor differences between the 3DS version and this version. Biggest difference is in this version, there's Japanese audio, so and as far as I know, you can't turn that off. So just yeah.
Who the hell says dummy anymore? Outside of a kid's show, who says dummy anymore?
Like I said, this game is anime as all hell. This game was also developed by Inti Creates, which everyone should know by now is like the most popular not Capcom devs that make not quite Capcom games lately.
Basically, we live in a world where Hatsune Miku controls the world.
Essentially, yeah. So what's your experience with this game?
I beat 3 levels, then put it down because I rage quit the game because it kept drowning.
Yeah, it sounds about right. So basically, I didn't even know that when this game first got announced. I didn't even know it existed because it got swept under the whole controversy of Mighty Number 9. So I didn't even know this game was a thing until like a month after it had already came out.
I knew about it. I just
I never saw any trailers for it. I just learned about it like a month after it was already out.
It's like I didn't see any trailers for it. It's like, I wonder why. it's like they didn't.
No, there
they
were
didn't
trailers.
sponsor
I just didn't see it.
Let me put it this way: they didn't sponsor it very well.
I think they did. It's just I was focusing more on Mighty Number 9 at the time, so I didn't even realize.
Oh yeah, I remember now. You were on a Mighty Number 9 high for like a good couple months. Then when it came out, it's like, what happened?
Yeah.
It kind of sounded like you went.
Anyway, so basically, what this game is.
I hate to cut you off. I'm like, it kind of sounded like you went in depression during that time.
Yeah. To be fair, that was also at the time when my favorite video game franchise of all time kind of just disappeared off the face of the earth for 10 years.
That'll do it too. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
So basically like how Mighty Number 9 is the spiritual successor to classic Mega Man, Azure Striker Gunvolt is basically a spiritual successor to the Mega Man Zero franchise on the Game Boy Advance. Although it's not nearly as, in my opinion, not nearly as hard as Mega Man Zero. Key difference is that in Mega Man Zero you actually can get game overs and stuff. In this game, you actually have infinite continues.
Oh, you said infinite lives and went off screen.
Well, infinite lives as in this game has a checkpoint system, so if you die, you respawn at the latest checkpoint. If you didn't hit a checkpoint, you just restart at the beginning of the stage.
You didn't say that. You didn't say that off screen, so that was. Bleh. Also, I remember you.
Yeah, so let's go into the plot of this game.
Plot, quote unquote.
So the name Gunvolt is also the name of the main character of this game, who is an adept. Adepts in this game are basically X-Men. That's the simplest term I can put up that I can mention. Like, adepts have superpowers, So they're like mutants from X-Men, and Gunvolt's Septima power. The powers are called Septima, so it's basically they're just terms for the game.
Yeah.
So Gunvolt's power is electricity, so he can zap things.
I feel bad.
This game is also similar to Mighty Number 9 in that the traditional Buster doesn't actually kill enemies. You use the gun to tag enemies, and then you hit the R button to use an electric attack. The electric attack is actually what does the most damage.
Yeah. I feel bad for Gunvolt's parents who had to name him. Like, it's like, how are we gonna name this kid? Let's see. There's a gun on the wall. And there's danger high voltage. I got it.
They never explain where he got his name from. I assume somebody found him, saw his power, and just gave him the... It's because he did say it's a code name. They never actually say what his real name is, so they just go by Gunvolt.
Hey, it worked. That was it.
So yeah, so
his powers don't match his
think
name.
Of adepts. So think of adepts like mutants from X-Men, and Septima are their mutant powers.
There's no savior though.
No.
If he were an actual X-Men, they'd have a savior. They'd be living in a mansion, living in high.
Well, you have Asimov here, who's the leader of the Quill organization that you're working for right now. So he's kind of Xavier or Magneto, one of those two.
I like this. It's like, power's out. Would really suck if I wasn't a pyrokinetic.
It would really suck if my power wasn't the one thing I needed to get through here. But I mean, yeah, even just looking at Gunvolt, you can tell that the character design was very much inspired by Zero. He's even got a ponytail, for God's sake.
It's almost like the design was intentional.
Right. So anyway, so you use the A button to tag things, and then you have to hit the R button to use the electric attack. The blue bar that's underneath the Gunvolt when you're using it shows how... The game's going to explain it right now, but I may as well explain it because it goes slow.
Stop your mission so I can explain stuff.
So he has electrical... So you hit the R button when you tag enemies to use your electric attack. You can auto recharge it by double tapping down, as they're explaining. But if you run out, then you overheat, and then you actually can't use your You can still use your normal gun, but you can't use your electric attack for a little bit. It doesn't make you any weaker; it just makes you have to wait a little bit.
Guess what I abused during my playtest.
Also, so you can also see that number in the top corner going up. That goes up based on how fast you kill enemies and how many enemies you kill at a time. Right now, it's not really going to do anything outside of give you a higher score, but it does matter after this particular stage when you go into the main game. And I'll get more into that when it makes more sense too. But you can actually get, as you can see here, you can actually get a higher score by targeting multiple enemies at once. And you want to get a high score in order to get item drops and whatnot. It's not required, but it'd be good to get. What's your experience with this game?
I got through 3 levels and put it down because I kept drowning a lot.
We'll get to that level eventually.
You know exactly what I'm talking. I'm not sure if
I do.
I'm not sure if I should be worried by the fact that you know what I'm talking about.
Well, I have played through this game a couple times before this. I haven't played it as much as I've played Megaman or X or Zero, but I've played it enough to know what I'm doing. Right now, the score tally doesn't mean anything. Later on, if you get over 1,000, if you get 1,000 points or more, it actually does affect things. But we'll get into that when it makes sense. Those sections there are the checkpoints, and as you see those 3 white bars there, if those go down after you take damage, and if all 3 of them disappear, then you lose your score streak.
Now that's new to this version, right?
Yes, in the original version, that was not a thing. You can actually change that as well if you want. If you want to play like the original version.
Why would you want to hate yourself?
It doesn't really matter too much. It's more just if you're trying to go for a high score, because there are missions that you can complete for different stages, and you get items and weapons based on the missions that you beat. Also right here, Astrosphere. This is one of your super moves. Unlike Mega Man Zero, you actually don't get special weapons from beating bosses. There's actually a experience mechanic in this game, and after you gain a level or two, after you gain levels, you'll learn other skills that you can equip. So it's kind of like the star system in Mega Man Zero 1, except it's not giving you something from the start and like taking it away. It's not like you have to learn to use your lightning attack first, because that is one thing from Mega Man Zero 1 that I didn't really care for.
Dude, stop talking. Not you, this guy.
Oh yeah, this is another thing too. Is like you will have people talking.
I'm just saying that guy.
That
guy needs to stop. He needs to not have a job. We're talking like that.
Since I'm playing the Striker Pack version on the Switch, it actually has Japanese audio. In the 3DS version, it did not. So, and as far as I know, I don't think you can turn off the Japanese audio in the Switch version.
I wouldn't know.
I don't mind it, but I'm just letting people know that
right.
That is a thing in this version.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah. But so this is the intro stage. It's also very similar to Mega Man Zero 3 because I think it was Zero 4 that the first stage was a train mission, but I haven't played Zero 4 in a while.
Yeah, I don't remember a lot of it either.
And then you got shield enemies that are not quite Sniper Joes.
Or whatever their name is.
Yeah. Thanks, Clement. Thankfully... Okay, oh, and then here's the item, and here's the pause menu that I'm going through. This is how you can equip your special moves, but since I only have Astrosphere, I can't really do anything about it right now. And also, unfortunately, even if you learn a special move, you can't equip them unless you're in the stage select screen. So, but thankfully, stages in this game are not very long.
It worked. It didn't work last time. Let's try it again.
That's a little bit different. Now I don't have a box to jump on to get better height.
Well, it sure doesn't really matter now, does it?
So when you're using your electric attack, you can see that you have a field of electricity around you. That can actually destroy attacks. So like all the missiles that he was launching at me, the flash field actually defends against that. It doesn't defend against the machine gun bullets, though.
I don't think that really matters that much, though.
No, it's the intro boss. It's not that hard.
Shit! I thought it worked the second time.
The game also, as I mentioned before, actually I don't think I did. There's actually missions you can do after you've beaten a stage once. So the game expects you to go back to old stages and replay it over and over again. There's like certain missions are like beat the mission with a specific rank, do a specific kill an enemy a specific way, things like that. And if you the problem with that, which I don't care for, is in order to use those missions, you have to actually physically select them before you go into the stage. Otherwise, even if you successfully do that mission, it doesn't count because you technically weren't activating it.
Oh, for Pete's sake.
Yeah, I don't like that in this game either. And unfortunately, that doesn't change in Gunvolt 2, but eh.
A for eh.
So those medals you get, those actually give you more extra lives. So you can stockpile on extra lives by going through stages over and over again.
Are you sure those are lives and not just for this?
The bonus oh, no, you're right. Those are bonus... the bonus tries are giving you the option to pick those items. You can either pick them individually, or you can hit a button that just flips all of them over at once.
Oh, okay.
Which is what I usually do, because basically what that does is gives you gives you bonus items. Again, like Mega Man Zero, you don't get special weapons from bosses. In order to get new new guns and stuff, you actually have to actually craft them yourself, which, unlike Mega Man 0, 3, and 4, is a lot easier to do because you don't have to find recipe guides that tell you how to make a specific weapon. The game will tell you if you have the game will specifically say if you have what you need to make the item.
Oh god. Oh god. Professor Xavier is a girl.
No, this is basically Hatsune Miku.
The best. No, this is we're in cerebral right now. Get me out.
I don't remember Xavier astral projecting himself as a fairy.
Look at the X-Men movies.
He astral projects himself, but not as a fairy.
Doesn't have to be a fairy.
So anyway, so this is
this is bullshit. That's so good to know.
This is Jewel and Lumen. They are technically two different characters. Jewel is the girl that's in the machine there, and so Jewel's the girl that's sleeping in there, and Lumen is the fairy girl that's in front of us.
So it's okay.
Lumen is basically Jewel's Septima, so that's her superpower. She can project.
Gunvolt's sitting in the corner like, how come she gets a fairy? All I do is shoot electricity. I find kind of gypped right now.
And her Septima power is actually her music. In the Japanese version, she's known as the Muse.
Yeah, gee, I wonder who the villain is.
No. In the English translation, it's the Muse. In the Japanese version, she's virtual idol. So yeah, she's essentially Hatsune Miku.
It's okay, it's okay. Joel's connected to the Matrix. She's gonna be okay. She's directly connected to the Matrix, so all she has to do is learn Kung Fu, and we're good.
So because Gunvolt's a good person, he's like, yeah, I'm getting her out of here because Sumeragi using her for their own.
I like this quote. I like this quote, by the way. It's like, does she really have a place with us? A quote? I'm like, you are all the exact same way as she is, you fucking dumbass. She's exactly like you in every single way. What do you think is going to happen? It's like the only reason.
See, even Joel's just like, kill me. He's like, just kill me. All they're doing is using my songs to, take over the world. Just stop doing that.
I look at Asimov and I'm just like, gee, I wonder who the villain is in this scene. I wonder who the villain is for this game. I wonder who the villain is for this game. Gee, I wonder.
Yeah, don't take the story too seriously. The game itself doesn't really take the story too seriously.
By the way, I like this next part. It's like, hey, wait, I gotta wait for it. If you wish to be free, I'll do what I can to make that happen. I want to help you, so tell me, what do you desire the most? Pizza with stuffed crust. That'd be nice.
God damn it.
Yeah, pizza with stuffed crust, a large Coke, maybe some chips. A really awesome game, awesome gamer pad.
Shit.
Also, this is kind of a dick move because you have friends over there. It's like,
kind of.
It's like, hey, where'd you go? Oh, I left the place. Oh, okay. That's cool.
Well, see, here's the thing. He realized that the people he was working for are kind of dicks, and he doesn't want any part of it.
No, it's just this guy. It's technically this guy. Everybody else was on board with it.
Yeah, well, he's learning that the corporation that he's working for is using this random girl for no reason to make themselves better. So he's just like, fuck that shit.
And that's fine. And that's fine. But you're kind of screwing over these two here that have nothing to do with the problem.
Oh, they're not going to get fired. He's not getting fired. He's just quitting.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying that you're kind of screwing yourselves over because you're kind of screwing those two over who have nothing to do with this conversation.
Yeah, but they're not losing their jobs. Gunvolt's just quitting because he doesn't want to work for them anymore.
Well, can we at least exchange Facebook information?
We'll get into that. We'll get into that soon, actually.
I was joking. God damn it.
I know, but we'll get into more about that in like 5 seconds. We'll get more into that in like 2 minutes here. So yeah, now because Gunvolt doesn't want to deal with being a terrorist. Well, not really a terrorist, more just like he doesn't want to work for a corporation that's going to force people to do things they don't want to do. He's willingly becoming a terrorist to protect Jewel here, because he's just a good guy like that.
I was like, feathers, are you an angel? No, I don't. No, I have no idea where these feathers are coming from. What the hell?
Yes,
where are they?
I'm an angel. All angels conduct electricity.
Badass. Be like fucking Emperor Palpatine, Star Wars. Unlimited power!
Well, except Palpatine didn't need to use a gun to do it.
I still have unlimited power!
I mean, technically, Gunvolt doesn't have to either. He just needs to use the gun to tag characters first and then shock them. Because apparently, you can still use the flash field. It's just not going to hit any enemies. You just have to use the barrier to do damage.
I'm sorry. It's like you do not control the Senate. I am the Senate.
God damn it. So here's the game doing the plot dump.
I'm sure.
So basically, at one point, people just started developing superpowers.
Fuck yeah.
And eventually, they formed the Sumeragi group.
Fuck no.
So they're essentially, like I said before, it's essentially the X-Men. People started developing mutant powers and started forming their own group to, monopolize on the fact that there's power and stuff.
Why am I being reminded of 2003 Shredder from Ninja Turtles?
I don't know. Cityscape.
He lived for like millions of years, then turned his like ancient Japanese empire into a global corporate company that runs power throughout New York.
They don't. Yeah, I mean they don't specifically say, but I'm pretty sure they're in Tokyo.
I'm pretty sure every single Japanese game takes place in Tokyo.
They don't know. Fair point.
Except for Ace Attorney, which takes place in California for some reason.
And yet still has Japanese themes around it all the time.
Exactly.
Because apparently California has shrines and cherry blossom trees.
Damn straight. It makes sense in context, I swear.
So, the group he was with, Quill, was basically a resistance against Sumeragi because they kind of control the world. Mainly because they have all the power in the world, so they basically can do whatever they want.
Then you find out, oh, the resistance is Sumeragi. Fuck.
Well, the resistance was part of Sumeragi, and they disbanded from there are people that were working for Sumeragi that want to do other things because there are evil people in the world, and that's basically what they do. Basically what Sumeragi is a whole bunch of freelance bounty hunters. And Gunvolt left to live on his own and ends up getting all of his contract with Sumeragi anyway. Which is why she's going to if we're the only ones giving you work, you may as well just come back and work for us anyway.
It's like, yeah, if I do that, then Yeah, but if I do that, then Joel won't be here. And she's like, oh, right.
Yeah, well, that's exactly his reason. It's like, I could, but then you'd end up using Joel like I told you not to do.
You know, I know they're trying to portray as them being a couple, but I see it more like Gunvolt decided to be a stay-at-home dad for some reason.
Yeah, it's more of a brother-sister relationship than anything.
Yeah, they kind of go about like Gunvolt's her dad or some reason. It's kind of funny in a sense.
Well, it's more because no one else is going to take Joel in.
It's like, all right,
and if she goes to anyone else, they're just going to use her powers to take over the world. So
it's like, all right, Joel, did you brush your teeth? Lumen took my toothbrush. God damn it. If you hear rattling on my end,
he also apparently lives in an apartment, but that is a bitchin' computer to have in your apartment. My computer doesn't look nearly as big as that. Not to mention, the computer takes up half of the goddamn apartment building. How do you live like that?
If anybody hears any rattling on my end, I have a bag of popcorn.
That's alright.
It's like, all right, Joel, you see this wall? This is my wall. Do not touch my wall. Little girl should not be touching my wall. Lumen comes out. Can I touch it? Especially you. Do not touch it. I don't trust you with anything. Don't touch anything. Can I touch myself? I said don't touch anything. Unless I say stuff.
Okay, I hate to cut you off there, but that's actually a game mechanic right there. In the main menu, you can actually talk to Joel, and it increases your affinity with her. This gives you the if you die after talking with her, there is a chance that she will sing her song for you and it'll revive you. It's very rare, and it's, as far as I know, if you don't talk to her, you have like no chance of it happening, or it's like a 1% chance of happening. But if you talk to her, the chance goes up a little bit. It doesn't explain how much, but it definitely happens. But that's the best I can explain with that, because I really don't completely understand the mechanics of how that works.
Yeah. It's like, yeah. It's like, apparently I think Joel just hated me, because that never happened at all, period. Even when I kept talking. Even when I kept talking to Lumen, it just never happened, period.
As it could also come to, it might also be something like they don't fully explain it, where it might be like a Xenoblade Chronicles 2 thing where the tutorial is just really, really poorly explained or not explained at all.
Boy, do I know.
But that's also another problem. The game doesn't. She's right. The game does not autosave, so you have to save in the main menu first.
This is some serious fourth wall breaking.
Oh yeah, the game breaks the fourth wall all the time.
Okay, good.
Also, the translation for this version compared to the DS version, much better, because although in the DS version it was kind of unintentionally hilarious, like they would actually go out of their way to say that Lumen was hitting on Gunvolt all the time.
Yikes.
In like a joking way, not actually kind of thing, like things like good luck on your mission, next time you're at home, don't wear a shirt, that kind of thing. Yeah, the DS version was kind of weird with the translation.
You can't see it, but my face is like, what?
And I remember you actually posting that on Miiverse, going, "What the hell am I doing? What the hell kind of game is this?"
I can't. Miiverse is down, so I can't show it. But I think I did do that at one point.
Okay, so right here, you do gain special attacks based on your. This is why you gain levels. When you get to a certain level, you'll learn a new super attack. You do have to go in and equip them. What I just equipped is actually one of the few ways you can heal yourself in this game. Unlike Mega Man Zero, or Mega Man X, this game doesn't have energy tanks. You just have a special move that can heal you. And as you gain more levels, you'll learn another healing move that can fully heal you, but it uses up more of your special meter.
Don't.
So the levels are not gaining levels is not required to get stronger or anything. You just learn more special attacks. You don't have to grind for anything in this game if you don't want to. But in order to get equipment in this game, you do have to actually make it yourself, which I actually really dislike. Because while the game does explain what items you need to make it, unlike Mega Man 04, which doesn't explain anything, you still have to grind for the items, and that can take a while.
I just like how it's like, I just like how this says, it's like Joel's typing away on her smartphone. I'm just like, when did you get a smartphone?
Like I said, this game basically says it takes place in, like, the distant future, so I guess this would be like 2100 or something like that. They might have explained exactly. They might have said what year it was, and I just glossed over it, but
that
it is supposed to be like a futuristic.
That doesn't answer my question.
Well, what was your question again?
My question was, where did she get a smartphone?
I don't know. Gunvolt probably gave it to her.
Here, I'm not using this phone anymore. It's junk.
They did say that it's been 6 months since he left, so she's pretty acclimated to the place now. I'm pretty sure he's given her a phone, especially since she's going to school. So,
Dad, I want a phone. We'll get a phone when I get paid again.
God.
Dad, my friends are making fun of Lumen. I'm sure she did something to deserve it.
So that message saying you feel a little closer to Jewel is supposed to say that is supposed to imply that you do now have a slight chance of things happening, like her reviving you if you die, or it might do other things too. I think the only thing it actually does is affect if she's going to revive you or not. Don't quote me on that, because I don't know exactly how that mechanic works.
I'm sorry. I just look at this and I'm just sitting here like, it's like, if Lumen revives you even once, I'm gonna be very upset. Because that shit never happened with me, period. It's like, I go through a level, I die, I get respawned back in, die, go again in a loop for like 3 levels straight. I'm getting sick and tired of this crap. Then die again. I'm like, screw it. Apparently Lumen just hates me.
It doesn't always happen, but thankfully with this game, you basically have infinite continues, so you're gonna beat the stage sooner or later.
Screw you and your music, Lumen. You screwed me out of life.
Alright, well, we'll go to our first real stage. We'll go to our first stage in part 2.
It's all your fault, Miku. I hate you. Shit, she blocked me on Twitter.
しい声が凍えそうなこの胸溶かしてこの先の未来もわからないままできるならどこまでもかざして君と僕の境界線をつなぐ輝ける空果てない想い心に抱き届け青の彼方へ突きつけられたこの現実で無限の理想の階段を巡り続ける世界はあなたの敵になっている私はここにいるから輝きを求めて突き進むもの永遠に続いてく記憶と君と僕の境界線を砕く線香の空果てない光心に抱き届け青の彼方